Welcome to Access to Business Opportunities. I'm Thomas Stevens, your host. Today with us we have Bernice Cage with Morpsey. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I'm just excited to finally get you here at the table so we can find out more about Morpsey and what you do.
Great, great.
So give us a little background about Morpsey. What is Morpsey? Because some people may not know the acronym.
Well, Morpsey is the MidOhio Regional Planning Commission. We are an association of 41 local governments. We have a 12-county area of influence, and we work with housing, weatherization services, ride solutions, transportation, and public and legislative affairs.
Okay, so kind of the whole gamut.
The whole gamut. That's why no one really knows exactly what it is that we do, because we do so many different things.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how you engage the business community.
Well, actually, we engage the business community in a number of different ways, but primarily through our departments. Since Morpsey is a regional planning commission and our members are local governments, we do provide services and programs to our various members as well as to the region. And one of those services and programs, of course, is our housing department, where we go in and we help people with foreclosure counseling. We rehab homes. We're now in the process of purchasing homes, completely remodeling them, and then selling them again. And we also do emergency repair services. So we engage the business in that activity as far as helping us, making sure that we provide the type of service that we want to that community or to that population that will utilize those services. So that's just our housing area. Then we have our residential energy efficiency, also known as our weatherization service. And we work with businesses there. We work with AEP. We work with Columbia Gas. We also work with consultants who actually sometimes go out and do the work for us. They purchase the materials that's needed to go in and insulate a home, put in new water heaters, furnaces, refrigerators. And then so we work with them as far as making sure that they provide us with quality service, quality products that we can offer again to our diverse community.
Okay.
Then we have a Ride Solutions program, and this is located in our transportation department. And we work with employers as far as reaching out to their employees to come up with different ways that they can commute to work versus than just taking a bus or driving alone or biking or walking. We like to provide them with a series of options on how to get to work. And with gas prices being so expensive, if we could, we would like to try and get them out of those single occupancy vehicles. You know, it takes something that's more affordable, such as transit or biking or even walking to work.
We believe in that. That would make us a more green city.
And more green,
and
that's right.
That's what the mayor wants,
that's
and
right.
everyone.
That's what we all want.
Absolutely.
That's what we all want.
You mentioned a couple of things. You talked about housing and a few other things. Is there opportunities for businesses to like get contracts or bid on things in those areas?
Oh, definitely, and especially in our housing department. In fact, right now in housing, if they were to go to our website, in our rehab, you know, we have all of our different programs in a drop-down menu, and if they were to go to housing rehab, there would be a contract there for them to fill out to do business in our housing department.
Okay.
So they would just fill that out, and we would just take it from there.
Okay, wonderful. That's great to know. Now, I understand that you're the Public Information Officer and Diversity Manager. So what does that mean to Morpsey? What do you do for them?
Well, I wear a couple of hats.
Okay.
You know, first of all, under public information and public involvement, I work with the local media to make sure that the public is aware of our transportation plans and programs and all the activities and events that we have going on at Morpsey. So it is my job to make sure that our information gets out there to the public under the public information hat. Under diversity is kind of new for us. You know, Morpsey's been around for over 30 years, and this is really our very first diversity program.
Okay, wonderful.
So in that effort, you know, it's new, and so of course we're learning. And in that effort, I am working towards seeing what I could do, seeing what Morpsey can do to make Morpsey to make MORPC more efficient, more effective, just to get the word out there that we are diverse, that we are looking towards improving and enhancing our diversity efforts, because we have a diverse region. It's becoming more diverse every day, and we need to make sure that we are reaching out to our diverse populations.
Excellent. And I mean, again, I'm glad that you were able to come on the show and we can get this, I call it an exclusive.
Well, you know what, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate that you reached out. Great.
And I know you put together some type of 2013 diversity or work plan or something. Now, tell us a little more about that.
Well, the work plan is basically covers 6 areas of focus. We want to make sure that we work with our workforce, making sure that they are cultural competent and that they know how to work with our diverse populations that they come in contact with out in the region. The next is our workplace. We want to make sure that our workplace is inviting and that it's encouraging and it's welcoming to all diverse populations. So we need to work on that. Right now we're leasing the building we're in, so we know that there's some issues and some things that we need to work on. But if we ever go into a new building or build, we know exactly what type of facility that we're looking for. And next we have diversity spend. We're looking to see how we can increase our diversity spend. You know, we did do an assessment of our 2011 dollars, our total spend, and what we were spending in 2011 on diversity, and we really saw a lot of room for improvement. So we want to work with minority businesses, we want to work with women businesses, and we want to work with small businesses to invite them in to see how we can do, you know, improve that spend. Now, we are an association of local governments. We're not very large. We have less than 100 employees. We don't have facilities all around the city or all around the state.
Right.
So, you know, but we do have some things. You have events every year. So there are ways, you know, we have our housing, we have our weatherization program. So there are ways that we can invite the business community to come in and work with us.
And every really good opportunity is a great opportunity, I'm saying, for a small business or a minority business that gets in there and finds a new avenue to make money.
Right. And another area of focus is our service to diverse populations. You know, we have 3 programs there at MORPC that, you know, we really would like to make sure that we reach out to those diverse populations and that they know about us. You know, in our housing foreclosures, we have homes to sell, we have homes we would like to get people involved with. We have our weatherization. We would like to weatherize their homes to lower those utility bills. We can weatherize homes, we can weatherize apartments, so they don't have to just be a homeowner. So again, we would like to reach out to those populations and say, invite us in to take a look, do an audit, and see if we can weatherize your home or apartment.
That applies. Does that apply to businesses too?
Yes. Well, we have a program that we will reach out to businesses. Yes. 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 And then there is our Ride Solutions, of course, which helps people get to work. You know, a lot of times if they're starting, they don't have a reliable automobile, you know, they can join our carpooling or van pooling programs and see about getting away into work. And, you know, and it's not just to get them to work and then they purchase a car, the car runs for a week and then it falls dead and then they don't have transportation. No, we're looking at, you know, getting them into some sort of long-term arrangement so that they don't have to just go right out and purchase a car, but they can always have a reliable way and convenient way to get to work.
Critical.
Yeah, critical. And then just 2 other areas of focus. One is diversity requirements. Since MORPC we are a nonprofit, but we are also an association of local governments. We receive our funding from grants, both federal, state, and local grants. We also receive funding from membership dues and receive funding from sponsorships. Again, that's another area where businesses come in and assist us. They may sponsor a particular program or a particular department. But with the federal funding, it is important that we not only recognize that we do have requirements as far as meeting certain standards and requirements, but that we also, someone's looking at them, someone's paying attention to them and noting whether or not we're meeting our requirements as far as disadvantaged spending and as far as spending with minority populations and women-owned populations and the small businesses, both in housing, in transportation, and in our center.
Okay, so let's talk more about, you talk about opportunities, and you're getting grant money from the federal government, which typically there is some requirements tied
There's some,
to it.
yes.
So is this more, the business opportunities, is it more like road work, transportation, kind of what is it?
Well, you know, it's a variety of things. Again, because we have, you know, we have three main departments other than our public and government affairs. We have three main departments. In transportation, it would be primarily consultants that would work with us on our transportation studies and plans and programs, as well as those businesses that are seeking funding from us to do contracts, road work, and that they in turn need to make sure that they hire disadvantaged businesses, either as sub-consultants or on staff or somewhere. They need to document that they are hiring disadvantaged businesses. So that's just transportation.
Okay.
And then you have housing, and then the requirements under HUD and Section 3. Businesses. You know, if you receive funding, you know, you are required to make sure that a certain percent goes to Section 3 businesses. Well, you know, we want to make sure that that is happening in housing. And then there is our weatherization department. And in weatherization, you know, we do work with Department of Energy. And even though their regulations are more on the small business side, it doesn't matter. You know, we still want to make sure that we are meeting those requirements.
Excellent. And again, a lot of viewers out there probably never knew that MORPC did all that and was interested in diversity and all. So that's great.
Right. And under our diversity communications, you're right, they don't know that. So one of our goals under diversity communications is to make sure that Ohio knows, to make sure our region knows, to make sure our local governments know that we do value diversity. And so we want to tell them that, and we're going to take every opportunity to do that, to tell them that we do that. But we also want to make sure that diverse populations know that we want to do business with them, and we want them to come in and utilize services.
Well, again, I know you've done an effective job, and again, looking back and looking at some of the research and looking at opportunities, I know you're really trying to get out there. I was reading something, let me see, I may have it here in my notes. MORPC proposes over $77 million for new transportation projects. Again,
now remember, that's in our transportation department.
Okay.
So, you know, we receive pass-through funding from Federal Highway through ODOT to us that we can allocate these funds for transportation improvement projects. These are transportation improvement projects to our transportation system. That's roadways, that's bike facilities, that's pedestrian facilities, sidewalks, that's transit. So communities come to us and they request funds from us to do these projects. And then, you know, of course, the demand far outweighs the supply.
Always.
So we have to come up with criteria as to which are the best ones that we should move forward with. And so we take all of them, you know, we go through them, not just MORPC, but we have a committee. We have a committee of local governments, we have a committee of businesses, we have a committee of just regular common folks that sit down, take a look at all the projects, and then they come up with a slate that should move forward that can utilize these funds. And it came out to be $77 million, and this is the list that they felt was priority to move forward.
So on those projects now, do they go to municipalities and then businesses can work with municipalities to bid on these? Or what?
Oh, often. In fact, once this plan is approved, a lot of times consultants will contact me for the list. So they can just pay attention to see when those projects are ready to move forward.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of that list now, is that something that's available on your website? Or?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, again, people need to know that. What about your registration process? If someone wants to come in and do business with MORPC, say they're small spins or something, is there a registration process?
You know, currently we do not have a registration process, but we are looking to start one. We're in the process of redoing our website, and in that process we want to include some sort of registration process for businesses to do that. We already have the RFP out there for the website, and I think we have already selected a company to do that.
Okay.
So between now and I say by the end of the year, we should have something up on our web to allow businesses to do that. But in the meantime, they can go to our housing website and sign on and with our contractor application, submit a contract application in our housing department to start work with them until we get the registration process in place.
Okay, and I might tell you we have some great certified companies here with the city that we certify, so
yes,
always look at that list too.
Yeah. Well, you know what, come to think of it, since diversity is new, on our website we do have an area called diversity, and in that we do have your website, we have the city's website, we have the state's website, and we have Columbus Diversity Bridge website.
Okay.
And we put that out there not only for our staff to use, but for anyone to use looking for minority and disadvantaged businesses.
Okay, great. We were kind of mentioning some of the current projects coming up. Is there any more out there that you want to talk about? Any current projects that maybe people should be looking at?
Because of the type of service we are, they just sort of, we had the website, we had an RFP out there for the website, we had an RFP out there for audio visual needs for our State of the Region, which is in April. We may be putting something out there for a video, to produce a video for that State of the Region. But then we have events further along in the year. We have our Summit on Sustainability. So, that's in, I think that's in October. So we will be putting things out there, but we do have an RFP, RFQ area under About MORPC on our website, that we always post our RFQs or RFPs, or they can send me their information and I just make sure that they'll get a copy of the notice. If they're interested, they get a copy of the notice stating we're seeking this type of business or this project.
Now, what about, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of startup firms out there. Does MORPC offer any type of grants or anything to help them do business? I mean, I know you mentioned grants and these are probably bigger funding, but I'm always getting the question, is there any money out there to help us regarding training or anything?
Well, not as of yet.
Okay.
But, if we've identified that that's a need, then maybe we can go after that to do that.
Okay.
But currently, we don't do that. What we would like to do, however, is we would like to offer like some sort of workshop in the future to our disadvantaged businesses to let them know or to show them how they can do work with MORPC.
Okay.
And what that will do a number of different things. One is that hopefully it will help with timely payments. If they provide the documentation that we need in order to make sure that they receive their payments timely, and they just need to know what that is. And then our staff needs to know what to ask of them to make sure that they receive. Everything is in order, the documents are there in place so that they're not waiting 60 or 90 days to get paid.
Absolutely. And again, once you put that together, if you need the city's assistance, the Equal Business Office, we believe in a regional approach, so we'd love to assist with that.
Great. I will be calling you on that.
Okay, good.
Great.
I have a great question here. As far as developing partnerships, is MORPC focused? It sounds like you're focused on partnerships. Is that true?
We are.
Talk a little bit more about that.
We value relationships everywhere. And I think that, it may be the nature of the beast, the fact that we are a regional planning commission, the fact that we are an association of so many local governments, and relationships do a number of different things. One area we identified was the fact that whenever you do business with a new company, you're not quite sure about the quality, and so if you have a relationship with that company, or if you know someone who has a relationship with the company, that will help us get over that hurdle as to whether or not they can perform, according to the standards that we need, or whether or not they have the scope or the scale or the size to be able to do the type of business that we need. And so, we form relationships every place that we can because it just makes sense. It helps us identify the needs in the region. It helps us bring people together so we can work through some of those challenges and issues that are out there. So not just in the area of diversity, but in so many other areas as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have it's a plan that you put together. It's a public improvement plan?
Yes.
Kind of explain a little bit about that.
Actually, it's a public involvement plan.
Okay.
And the public involvement plan is a plan that drives the public involvement process for our transportation plans and programs because of the investment of our transportation funding dollars. It's huge. It's 77 million is just Morpsey, but when we're all done, it could be well over $2 billion. It's important that the public is allowed to provide input on to where those dollars go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's taxpayers' dollars, so they should be allowed to say, well, you know, can you put some money here? And what this does is, number one, it tells the public that there is a process, there is a plan, so that you can provide input into where these dollars are spent, number one. Number two, it tells the public, well, this is how you can become involved. This is how we're going to reach out to you. So we're going to not only reach out to you, you know, everybody wants to use the internet, well, but we do know a large fraction of this public don't use internet.
True.
You know,
True.
So how are we going to reach out to those people? We want to make sure we reach out to businesses. We want to make sure that we reach out to everyone, because, you know, if these are their dollars as well, and say, you know, tell us, what do you think? It includes transit, includes CODA's information. It will start to include DATA's information, which is the Delaware Area Transit Authority in Delaware. And it includes all the local communities. It includes the City of Columbus's information, Whitehall, Westerville, I mean, all of them. All of their information in Delaware and Franklin County, our planning area, is in there. And anyone can comment and say, and sometimes they do, special and very controversial projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it does. It directs that. It tells the public, this is how you can be involved. Take any one of these levels. If you just want to send us something through email, regular mail, call me on the phone, have me come out and meet with your people, we'll do it all. It doesn't matter. And no matter where it is. It can be in the rural areas. It can be in your home. It can be around your table. It can be at city council. You know, what's important is that we reach out and they tell us what they're looking for and they tell us what they want.
There was a great quote by, I think it was Sam Walton. He talked about high expectations is the key to great results.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, obviously you're a woman who has high expectations and you expect success. So what do you see in 2013? I mean, what do you want to achieve? Well,
in 2013, it's, you know, this is a new area for us. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just is.
Yeah.
And one of the things I hope to see is that I wanted to make a difference. Mm-hmm. You know, because of the recession.
Yes.
You know, I always get statistics on where our diverse populations are in the way of jobs, in the way of aging. We know that, you know, the baby boomers are getting older. We know that they need ways to get around mm-hmm. once they get older. We know that, you know, the middle age is going to be thinner, smaller, but they're the income producing age for us who are getting older. We realize that a lot of the diverse populations, there's a high percentage that's not graduating from high school, you know, but they could potentially be our leaders in the future.
Absolutely.
I mean, so what can we do to help?
Right.
You know, how can we assist our future generation in providing a place where we would want to live, work, and raise a family. And by doing that, you know, it's great that you give the big companies, you know, the business, the large companies, you know, business is great. But the small businesses, I mean, there's so many more small businesses.
Absolutely.
You know, can we give them, you know, so that they can send their kids to college mm-hmm. or send their kids to trade school or somewhere. And it's important that we lift them up as well and not just continue to support the large companies. They're important too, but the little guy is important just as well. So I want to see if it can make a difference.
That's admirable, and that's what we're all trying to accomplish. And they talk about what small business is the economic engine of this country. There's no doubt about it in this city.
Doubt, right.
And so we've got to find a way to do that.
We have to find a way to do that. And we know they have challenges. So it's like, let's put your challenges on the table. I mean, that's what public information does. That's what public involvement does, is say, put all the obstacles on the table and let's work through them. They have challenges, let's put them on the table and let's work through them.
Okay,
see what we can do.
So I'm a small business, a minority business, and I want to do business with Morpsey. So I'm in my car, drive down to your facilities. What do I need to do? Well,
if you drive down to our facilities, you need to meet with me.
Okay.
And what that will do is I will get your information. I will get information on what service or product or good you have to offer us. So I know where to place you. So I know what programs or what departments in our area would be interested in your services. That's the first thing. The second is just ask you, are you on any of the other registers? Are you registered or certified with the city? Are you registered or certified with the state? What about the Diversity Bridge program? Because my people, my staff are going to go to those places and look for you. And if you are there, is your information current?
Yes.
Is your website current? Is your telephone number? Does it work? And also, do you have keywords there? If there's a blank and I don't know what it is you do, I'm not going to contact you because, you know, my time is valuable too. So, you know, go through there periodically and make sure that information is current so that when I'm looking for you, I can find you. I want to be able to find you. I want my staff to be able to find you. I want anyone looking for whatever it is you have to offer, I want to be able to find you. Case in point, Eco Summit. We help Ohio State, we help host Eco Summit where we had over 1,500, possibly 2,000 people from around the world come to Columbus for Eco Summit. And we wanted to, you know, I wanted to do some diversity spend. And it's probably my fault. I don't know if it's a fault, but by the time we got to the part about, you know, isn't there something that we can, you know, help our diverse vendors participate? I was like, okay, you know, maybe they can supply us with our t-shirts, 2,000 shirts, or t-shirts for our volunteers. And we put, you know, I went through the list and I put it out there, and for some reason, it just didn't work out for me. Either their email addresses didn't work, their telephone numbers didn't work, either they didn't have the capacity to do that large number of t-shirts. I'm like, come on, it's t-shirts. So that tells me that, all right, maybe I have to start a little bit earlier. Maybe, you know, I don't know how far back. Maybe I need to start soliciting 3 months in advance, maybe 6 months in advance, just to get them there and get them ready. And then maybe work with them to make sure that whatever we need, whatever they're giving us, we can work through it. And that's why I say, like, some of our events, our Summit on Sustainability, Riverfest, we always have t-shirts. But it's just t-shirts. I mean, just think about all the other things that were there, printing needs, transportation services. I brought in students from black colleges and universities, and I had to find a transportation company that would take them from the airport to the hotels and back. Not only here, but also in the city and state they were coming from, and just working. It's like, well, are you diverse? Well, no. It's like, okay, well, you know. So it's important to be visible, you know, and to let us know what are your goods and services, and we'll just work through it and see what other challenges there may be out there.
And some of the challenges you were mentioning, again, that was a true green opportunity, green, and you're talking about procurement forecasting and looking out like that.
Yes.
So, and more companies need to do that. We're implementing a new tracking system called PRISM, which will help us in our procurement forecasting and all. So, I mean,
I may want to take a look at that.
Okay.
Too.
That'll be wonderful. But I applaud your effort. Again, you're taking a real initiative to step out and let folks know what you want to accomplish.
Yeah. And, you know, with our housing department, you know, if you know, I just did an open house, or attended an open house where they did a new build, not a remodel, they did a new build. I mean, just look at the opportunities that are there in that new build, not only with the major construction worker, but also with the subs that have to come in there.
Yep, true opportunities. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our show, so let me ask you this. Is there any closing comments that you want to share with our viewers today?
Well, just the fact that, you know, we are a small agency, but we want to work with them. So, you know, have them contact me, stop by to see me, send me their information. Let's establish a relationship so that when I need someone, when I need an agency and I only have a little bit of lead time, I know I can call and I feel comfortable calling them. So establish a relationship.
Thank you for being here. Again, it's been great.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And if you're looking for opportunities with the City of Columbus, you can go to our website at columbus.gov, click on the Equal Business link. There you'll find links to our partners as well as links to vendor services, where there's currently over 100 opportunities. Again, we thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Access to Business Opportunities.